Welcome back to the Tigers Den podcast, guys. Before we get started, you already know what we got to do. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're brand new, and don't forget to ring that bell. Join the Noti Squad, and make sure you hit those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Twitter, IG, and Facebook at Big C Got Game. Well, I know you guys are looking in the background like, yo, see, where you at? Yo, I spent all this past weekend moving. This is the new spot, so, I'm trying to work out the angles correctly. My bed's in the background. It's a work in progress, y'all. It's a work in progress. Our Tigers trounced the Crimson Tide of Alabama. 56-28 was your final. It was a shootout in the first half. 28-21 was the end of the first half. And then Grambling State went on a 28-0 run and then giving up a late fourth quarter touchdown. Chris King finished 23 of 31 for 331, 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. I was proud of Chris this game. Playing Alabama could be very tough because, as y'all know, they always come with a strong defense. Their secondary was strong this year, but he was able to pick them apart. Receivers caught balls. We scored touchdowns. We get the W. But let's talk about the player of the game, and let's be real, player of the year. Joel Thomas, 35 carries for 255 yards and 4 touchdowns. JT was a man on a mission this week. I don't know what happened. He was running the ball tough. He averaged 7 yards a pop. If this wasn't a Heisman winning performance, I don't know what is. Out wide, in his last game, Robbie B finished with 8 grabs for 112 yards and a touchdown. Rob's going to be missed next year, man. He was King's go-to this year. No matter where he was at, lined up on the field, Rob caught the ball. Rob scored touchdowns. Antonio Walker was second on the team with 5 grabs for 62 yards. Sean Edwards, 4 catches, 90 yards, and a score. That spin move is nasty. Jordan Paxson, 3 grabs for 48 yards and a touchdown. And shout out to senior Gerald Cox. He had a touchdown as well. On defense, Mike Collins led the way with 6 grabs with Rayshawn Baker. Jason West, 6 tackles, 3 for loss. Brandon Ginn had 5 tackles in a TFL. No sacks this game, but Ron Bennett did get an interception. Digging deeper into the stats, and it just shows how dominant Grambling State was this week. 28 first downs, 611 total yards of offense. We held Alabama to 193 yards passing, 6 of 13 on third down, even though they converted 2 fourth downs. They went perfect inside the red zone, but we did force a turnover. Almost 800 yards of total offense in this game. Just Grambling State doing what Grambling State does, dominating and winning big. So it's time to take a look at the BCS rankings going into Conference Championship Week. GSU still sitting on top, but this week we're playing Georgia. Navy is undefeated, and they beat Army. They're done for the year until they get to their bowl game. Oregon finishes third. Oregon is third, and they have USC in the Pac-12 championship. Nebraska comes in at 4. They play Michigan in the Big Ten championship. Texas A&M is 5. Michigan is 6. USF, the Bulls, in at 7. Louisville is 8. Baylor is in at 9. And Oklahoma rounds out your top 10. We have to say a big congratulations out to redshirt junior Joel Thomas. He is your offensive player of the week after his dominating performance against Bama. 35 carries, 255, and 4 touchdowns. Taking a look at the Heisman watch list, and Joel Thomas is number 1. The redshirt junior is putting up another great year. Look at those numbers, guys. He's going to break his freshman record. He finishes the regular season with 2,178 yards, 31 touchdowns, averaging 7 yards a pop on 313 carries, dominating. If he does not go pro this year, I don't know why not. Coming in second is USC quarterback Kellen Johnson. Third is Louisiana Lafayette running back J.J. Sands. Then you have Dan McCoy, the quarterback from Nebraska, and Joel Buckley, the quarterback from The Ohio State. To the recruiting trail we go, and we got some bad news this week. Big defensive tackle Reggie Rivas has decided to sign with LSU. This would have been a big get for the Tigers, but the big fella decided to head to Baton Rouge, and he's going to be a beast, and we are going to see him every year. But that's okay. We did get a signing this week. Matt Schroeder, the big tight end from Middleton, Wisconsin, 6'1", 243. He's a route runner. He can catch. He's going to be a great option out of the pass game. But now it's time to look at the top of the board. We have 3 players left on our board that are must-gets. Pierre Jackson, the number 2 athlete from Peach City, Georgia. He had his visit to Texas a couple weeks ago. He moved Texas to his number 1 team, which we knew he would. But we're still in the hunt for him. I figure we'll put majority of our points into Pierre Jackson in the offseason. D-tackle Martin Mills came on his visit against Alabama, and he has moved Grambling State to his number 1 team. We're ahead of Minnesota and Miami right now. So another player that we have to put a little, I would say probably about 3,000 to 4,000 points into. And then there's outside linebacker Will Banks from Louisiana. He's the number 1 rated outside linebacker, and right now he's got Oklahoma as his number 1 team. He is a must-get as well. I love his speed. I love his tackling ability. We could move him and have him down in the outside linebacker role in our base defense. And because of his speed, he might be able to play a little bit of nickel. So he is a must-get. We will have to put in some points on him because you know Oklahoma will. All right, y'all. So it's time to add another SEC championship to the trophy case. This time around, we're playing Georgia. The Bulldogs come in 9-3 on the year and are on a 2-game winning streak after beating Kentucky and Georgia Tech. But they did go on a 3-game losing streak, losing to Auburn, Florida, and Vanderbilt. Georgia is led by senior quarterback Anthony Walter. He's thrown for 2,986 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Now, he's a tall quarterback, 6'3", 195. He is a pocket passer, not really great speed, but look at that throw accuracy. 94. His awareness is going up to a 93. He's got a decent, strong arm, so we might not have to worry too much about the deep ball, but he is a very accurate thrower. On the ground, senior running back Joel Walker leads the way with 1,286 yards and 15 touchdowns. His backup is Kyle Seymour. He's a senior, 657 yards and 3 scores. Now, I said Walter's not that much of a scrambler, but look at the stats, 247 and 3 touchdowns. His longest run was a 12-yard run. Well, it looks like we're going to have to make sure we have a spy on Walter. Look for Jason West to have a big day this week. Out wide, Anthony Williamson is the lead receiver, and he's a tight end. 72 catches for 992 yards and 8 scores. Then you have wide out Matt Ziegler, 58 catches, 773 yards, 7 scores. This is a big dude, 6'5", 241. Rayshawn Baker's going to have his hands full this week. Maurice Burns is out this week. He is their speedster, 33 catches for 540 yards and 3 scores. Then there's freshman Tyler Webb, 6'1", 211, 21 grabs, 235. And Kyle Jackson, another speed receiver, 11 grabs for 144 yards and 3 scores. It looks like their wideouts are kind of mediocre. Besides Williamson and Ziegler, they really don't have anybody else. So look for a lot of help to be over the top for Baker when he's checking Ziegler. And I'm not too concerned about, Ron Bennett against anybody else. And my slot guys are playing great, Ken Johnson and Brent Stovall. So look for Ziegler to have shadows. On defense, right outside linebacker Henry Gates leads the way with 80 tackles on the year. Then you have his partner in crime, Tony Johnson, on the left side. He's got 56 tackles on the year. Right end, Justin Rowe leads the team in sacks with 4.5. Then you have defensive tackle Sean Bird. That's a big boy, 6'5", 292. He's got 3.5 sacks. Johnson has 3.5 sacks. And then the other outside linebacker, Logan Morton, has 3 sacks. Looks like the Georgia secondary is pretty good. Rasheed Robinson leads the team with 4 interceptions. Then you have Matt Bozeman, the safety, with 3 interceptions. And his partner, 6'4", 198. Jeez, Darryl Brown is a strong safety with 2 interceptions. Let's dig deeper into this Georgia squad. First, we're looking at their offensive line. They have a decent left tackle. He's a 75 overall as a sophomore. A strong left guard. Their center is all-world. Right guard is decent. And their right tackle is out. So our ends are going to be eaten because these left tackle or right tackle are not that good. On their defensive line, Steve Russell looks like he's decent. Their right end, Justin Rowe, he leads the team with sacks. Up the middle, they're beastly with Andre Summers and Sean Bird. They're both big boys that are hole pluggers. Tony Johnson at left outside linebacker is decent. Morton is his backup. Up the middle, they're pretty good. Jeff Harrell is a senior, and Brandon Robinson is a junior. Henry Gates is okay. Foreman is decent. Now at corner, whoa, okay. We might be able to take advantage of this. Rasheed Robinson is strong, but everybody else after him is just mediocre. You have Jasper Sanders as a freshman, Johnny Murphy as a freshman, Lee Berry as a junior. He's a big boy, 6'4", 189. And then Ben Humphrey is 5'9". Look for our receiver 2 and our slot receivers to have big days this week. And it looks like Herbie is rolling with Grambling State this week to make it, 3 SEC championships in a row. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're brand new. Don't forget to ring that bell. Join the Noti Squad and hit those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Facebook, Twitter, and IG at Big C Gat Game. And we will talk from the SEC championship as our Grambling State Tigers look to make it 3 in a row. Have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.